Why are you losing fights in 2024 Fortnite? Well, let's fix it, and the first trick I've got for you to fix it is to practice your basics. When I mean basics, I mean your basic wall takes. You might be thinking, why is that important in the slightest? Everyone can take walls. You just drop on the wall, you just hack it, you take it, and you run with plastic, you place a cone in. It's just elementary. Well, that is where you're wrong. Placing walls and basic boxing tricks can be super important, and here's why. Milliseconds make massive differences in game, and if you're having that one button fumble that gets you straight to your shotgun and then back, and then you take it, you might do 150 less damage to the opponent, and that can be detrimental to your game. So what drills do I want you to do when practicing your absolute basics? These are your drills like doing the right hand peek here. You can just keep a wall here, drop your walls down, and then you can practice taking it. This is the opponent's wall. You can practice placing a cone here, taking it, grabbing it, editing it like that, and most importantly having a right hand peek here. Once you've done this, you can keep doing that. You just go along, do the exact same thing. You can even improve this drill a little bit more by hitting them, then dropping down onto a cone, resetting, then taking this last wall over here. This is a great exercise because most importantly, people will normally do that kind of movement when you box them. If you take this wall right here and hit them, most players in this situation will go out the back like so, reset the wall, and therefore this wall is right for the taking. It's just been reset, so you dropping down like this and taking it like that and editing it from far away, which requires good crosshair placement, is super useful. Second exercise I want you to do is practicing boxing. So you're boxed up, I want you to practice if someone's got your wall, boxing up into a brand new box instantly. You can even use this to your advantage with the crosshair placement. So when you do the cone, you can flip your cone like this, carry on moving around, and get out like that. That's probably the most optimal way to get out of your box, as opposed to editing like this, like that way, and then flipping back and going out the back. This is what it looks like in full speed. Super optimal. You can practice doing this, you can practice flipping the ramp, editing this, hitting a counter shot, and then boxing up out the side again. Boxing up is a super underrated skill, and if you're not fast at boxing up in 2024, you're going to die over and over again because of it. Forget all these triple and quad edits. Practicing this kind of stuff is the stuff that's actually going to help you in game. Another wall take you can practice is place a box here, and then I want you to just come up to the wall in a very, very protected manner. Practice pickaxing it, practice getting it, and practice an optimal edit on the opponent, like so. You can then take the wall again from yourself, pretend they took it back, maybe pre-fire it like that, go to the side, get another optimal wall edit, then maybe go from the other side. Now, place your cones, make sure you're completely unpieceable, then take it again. This is practice, guys. This is actual practice. Not triple edits, not quad edits. This is actual practice going to help you in game. If you practice this sort of stuff, you're going to end up like never dying in your key games because you're so good at pushing walls and you know exactly what to expect and you never mess up your binds. Tip number 2 is something super interesting and is actually something I've been experimenting with recently. So if you take someone's wall, I was always thinking, what is the most optimal edit to do? Could it be the peanut butter like this? Could it be a window edit? Well, I've actually found that one of the most underrated optimal edits is this one right here. You might be thinking, how can this be an optimal edit? Well, if you look at my character, you know how the character's thing is slightly to the right, so you always have a right hand peek. Well, if the enemy is standing here, they can see up to this point here. Not even in the middle of the cone. And they're standing here. So if I stand in this spot, I can actually see the character's legs. And I'm not where they can see me. They can only see up to here. And I can see their legs. So by doing this edit, I can actually hit them like that and do at least 70 damage just from that. It's super easy. They cannot see me at all. If you think about it, the camera's actually placed at head level, so the camera's placed at about the nose level of the character. So anything below the nose level, they can't see. So I cannot shoot anything below my nose level here. My nose level is the highest point I can shoot, because that is my vision. I cannot shoot under this, but if I crouch down, I can shoot under this. Makes sense? I thought so, and that's why it's so underrated. Even from this angle, they're not going to expect it, and you can probably hit a nice shot there. Just work on it, and let me know your results, because I think it's a super good way to get damage. Tip number 3 in ending fights quickly and also avoiding death is day cones. I go on and on about day cones because they are so good. Let's say someone's pushing a wall from over here, they are pushing it, and they ramp up like this. Anyone else in this situation might throw ramps above their head, and while this can work, it is a worse version of the day cone. So as you know, the cone does place the furthest in any material. It's like the super build. It places the absolute furthest. You can't place any other build as far as cones. They go so far, it's crazy. I can place a cone from all the way over here. That is like 2 boxes away. Anyway, cones also go depending on where you place them. So you can actually place them above walls. If you look slightly above where you're placing them, slightly above the walls, ever so slightly. If you look too high, they'll go above you. If you look too low, they'll go above you. But make sure you get it dead above the wall. This means you can place cones all around this opponent. So as from the opponent's PV, they're running up the ramp and they're instantly coned and they have to go out the side, which can cause them seconds. It can cause them even more than a couple seconds if they're a bad player. Of course, they can just build around it like I did here, but once you've got the cones, you can then build up yourself. A quick 90 and all of a sudden you are on the height instantly. You've gained height straight away in the fight, and that is one of the most important things this season, having height on your opponents in the fights, because the ability to nitro in, despite nitros being nerfed, is still pretty high. A couple of other places day cones can be used is in ramps like this. If you place ramps like this, you can then pop day cones over the top of them and then do another like 90 or click 90 to get even higher. If the opponent was ramping up here, they'd be completely blocked. Obviously you can edit through them, but they can't edit through them. They have to side jump and they're like way behind you in the building. Even in buildings, this thing can be useful. If you've got a building and there's a player that could just come down the stairs here, I'm creating whole scenarios now. But if you place a wall and a cone, you can instantly trap them in. And they've just come out to this. Or even better, you can place a wall, a cone, and a stair. And then you just have so much piece control there. Day cones was my tip number 3. And if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure you like the video for the algorithm. It really does help my channel. And popping code JKC in the fun item shop. Let's move on to tip number 4. You will die in a lot less fights if you play it simple. Simplicity is the best way to play Fortnite. None of what I'm doing right now, quad edits, triple edits, it is so inefficient. Like, this is so cool to do, but it's not going to win you fights. It might hit you a beautiful clip once in every while, but 9 times out of 10 it is going to get you killed. Top tier pros do it because they can implement what I'm about to tell you into their gameplay, as well as doing the triple edits and quad edits, which is obviously pretty impressive. Simplicity is the best way to play Fortnite. It might not feel the coolest, but me playing so simple allows me to keep more awareness over my opponent. Me just placing simple builds, a wall, a stair, just editing through once in every 5 builds, trying not to do too much mechanics wise. If I need to edit down, going like this, basic stuff. You can still do piece control like that. It's realistically, if you're a good player, piece control should not be mechanically challenging for you anyway. But none of this triple edit and quad edit stuff, I'm focusing so much on that, I actually can't focus on my opponent as much, and he's far more likely to be able to get below me and come behind me and hit me. So I'm just mechanically editing. I'm not actually fighting it. This is a complete waste of maths. This is why I always say in-game, 90s are some of the most underrated things you can do. These players are doing some crazy massive maneuver like this, doing this, like coming around, doing another 4 cones over here, when you could literally, the fastest way to take height is 90 sprinting up like this. I've just gone up 3 layers in the space of about 4 seconds, 4 layers, and I'm on height. And it's the most simple mech ever. People forget that mechanics don't have to like keep going upwards and upwards. That's where you're looking. Upwards and upwards like that. They can stick similar. You can actually simplify them. Day cones are a simple mechanic, but when done well, you don't even have to look like the craziest player ever. Similar to triple edits is the optimal edits issue. People, when they go for clips, will go around, they'll go like this, or say the player in this box here, they'll go like this, and this is super exposed. They will forget all about exposure, forget all about good peaks. They will just go straight for the most beautiful edit they can possibly think of. Whether that's the archway edit, whether that's the peanut butter where they're exposed like this. You guys got to be thinking about your edits. If you're taking 100 damage in every single fight, you're clearly doing something wrong. I know I gave you an optimal edit earlier, and this will be similar. However, I'm going to give you some more optimal edits you can do. If your opponent is right close to the wall like this, they have to be dead on the wall though. You can do a top row edit like this, but they have to be right next to the wall. The reason I say that is because if they're not right next to the wall, they're going to be able to shoot you. See how they're here? and the nose is the camera, so if you can see the very top of their head, you can actually shoot them here. But they have to be dead close to the wall. It's a risky edit because if they move even slightly further back, you're going to be able to get shot from that. Second optimal edit is when someone's at the back of the box over here. Peanut butter is perfect for that because you can jump and hit a really nice shot. The thing is with the peanut butter, you got to make sure you're going towards the left side of your box and really make sure you're confirming it and then jumping and then resetting. The number one mistake people make on peanut butters is staying still or confirming like this and then moving back. You got to move back first and then confirm. This might be harder on edit on release, but I promise you I'm on edit release and I can still do optimal peanut butters perfectly fine. One of my favorite personal edits is the window edit. I need to do it more because it is super good, and you should always stick without the middle window edits. This window edit is terrible. This might actually be worse than a bad peanut butter edit. It's just straight away you can be seen by everyone. Always go for one of the side window edits because it's going to allow you to like really have a right hand peek. The gap in the middle is far less large and you can hit some really nice shots of it. Just make sure, like the peanut butter, you are staying very to the left of the window edit. You can even hit a little jump with it. Finally, the one we discussed earlier, this one right here can be a very optimal edit at times. If you're doing this one, you're going to want to be careful because you are on a left-hand peak, but if you do it nice and fast, they're never going to expect this building piece to be edited, ever. Those are the most optimal edits in my opinion. And let's move on to the next tip. Reason number 5 of why you're dying in fights so often in 2024 and how you can stop it is not having enough space. When you guys get pushed, you will always box up like this. And they're on your wall, and you just hold the wall. You just hold the wall, and if they take it, you're dead. Like, what can you do here? This is the problem with only having one box. If you have one box, it means one wall that's been taken, and all of a sudden the enemy has so much control over the fight. They have everything. Even if you flip the cone here, they can easily take it because it's a weak cone. This is why when you box up, you should always instantly box up a second time or even a third time. The 2 times is good enough already because it means you have so many points of exit and you can play so deep here. So if they start to pickaxe this wall right here, you can instantly drop back into this box, edit this, drop back, go like this, and all of a sudden you can take the wall back from them, maybe hit a nice peanut butter, go outside. There's so many options. You get the point, there's so many options. It is such a beautiful structure, double box. Think about it, you've got 2 tops, you've got like 8 walls here, 6 walls, but similar thing. And you always have an option to attack someone off it. Such a beautiful set of builds. Oh my god. If you'd like a second part to this video, guys, on how to stop dying in fights in 2024, make sure you comment down below and let me know what your best tip for placing high in Fortnite is. Also, watch the video on the screen right now. It is an absolute banger, and I'll have to see you in the next one because we are all done here today.